What's up everyone? Today I'll be doing something you guys have asked for, and that is upgrading my Tsurinoya Spear Fox, which is a shallow spool bait casting reel or BFS reel, and upgrading it to ceramic hybrid bearings and do some cast testing. This is very exciting because I always love this reel so far, but I think there is it could perform a little better. So hopefully by swapping out their stock bearings, I could increase some casting distance or even cast lighter lures even better. So let's talk about the things that I actually swapped out today. And I swapped out the one on the side plate, and the side plate is actually 3 by 10 by 4. That's the dimension for that bearing. And the other bearing is this guy here, which is on a spool shaft. Okay, that one is 5 by 11 by 4. And I use these pliers to remove the pin, but there are different alternative tools that you guys could use. Gotta use my old school trusty Boca pliers, which actually cost a lot. But again, there's our cheaper solutions. You guys can check out the description below. And now you notice I have one bearing, sitting here. This is actually 3 by 8 by 4, and it does not fit. I actually have a tube of every single of these sizes here. I bought in bulk, and I thought it would be cheaper doing so, and you guys could probably do the same thing. I got it from Zoty, but if you guys don't want to reach out to companies like on Alibaba or AliExpress, I understand, or even eBay, you guys could go to Spool Hi-Speed Bearings. I left a link to them. I bought their kit for the Spartacus, and I feel like they're the cheapest one out there. Back then I used to buy Bocas, but Bocas was extremely expensive. And Spool Hi-Speed is going to be the cheapest that you guys could buy that's reputable. All right, so the last bearing is actually at the tension knob right here. Now, I don't have one that fits. I don't know the actual size. If you guys have calipers, you guys could lightly take it out and measure it. But I have written down right here, you guys can reference this, but basically the inner diameter by outer diameter and then the width, okay? That's what you guys see here. This 3 here is inner diameter, 8 is outer diameter, and 4 is the width. So let's take a look at this bearing very quick. Inner diameter is from here to here, outer diameter just goes here to here, and the width is right here. But yeah, if you guys have a caliper and you guys have the Spear Fox or the XF50 and you guys have measured before, you guys can leave me a comment below and let me know exactly what size, but I'll be quite honest with you, you guys will not need it. You guys don't need the side one, and I'll show you why right now. First and foremost, the 2 bearings that do most of the work is the side plate and the one on the spool. Okay, you put it on here, and that's where all the weight distributes on. Okay, now let me put this thing back in here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. And it's quite interesting actually. Now, when I actually reel this thing here, and because my bearings are a little dirty, I have seasoned this reel already. Used it about 6 months already, right? And you can see that it's not spinning at all. The spool, that pin right there, is not even touching that. And then if I even put this on here and I spin it, that's not even spinning. So I don't know, is it because of this is too thin, but it barely uses it. I think you add some grease onto the shaft, then it'll touch it, then it'll spin a little bit. But right now, it doesn't look like it's even using it at all. So if you guys want to check your Spear Fox, let me know if it's actually working or not. Is it actually using the bearing on the side? Leave me a comment below. But to me, I don't think it's going to be necessary to just replace that. So let's get out there and do some casting. I'm expecting some awesome stuff today. I think likely because this the ceramic hybrid bearings, it has no lube, it runs dry. Everything will shoot out a lot faster. Therefore, I should be able to cast lighter lures a lot easier, potentially further. And guys, I want to give you guys the heads up right now. Ceramic hybrid bearings doesn't always equate to further casting. And my expectation that some things will cast further, some things won't have any difference. But overall, I feel like it's going to reduce the amount of effort that I need to cast lures out to the maximum distance. That's how it's been for most of my other reels, and I don't think it's going to be any different for the Spear Fox. So let's get out there and have some fun. All right, guys, we're going to do some casting, some cast testing right now with the upgraded bearings. And the first thing I'm going to throw is the Euro Tackle, their Z-Viber. This is a people actually vertical jig this because it's an ice fishing jig weighing at 1/16 ounce, but we're gonna cast this little sucker. All right, folks, I have this thing dialed to 8 for the brakes. Gotta put it high just in case, with the ceramic hybrid bearings, the bearings should be spinning a lot faster, so I don't want to backlash my first cast. Whoa, see, that thing is going pretty darn fast. So I did like a hybrid overhand cast because I got some trees over here, guys, and that didn't go too far. And what you want to do, especially with these bearings, is you want to actually do a underhand roll cast. So I'm gonna give myself some room. There we go. Look at that. That is not bad, I would say. By the way, guys, I am using the Tsurinoya Dexterity rod, the C632UL. That is 1.8 meters, and that's just a side sling. It's not too bad. And if there's a windy days, I do recommend that you guys do like side cast, roll cast, slide slings. But you know, for BFS fishing, you know, I typically do a side sling, okay, and underhand roll cast. It really depends on how heavy the lure is. And right now, I think it's a hybrid of a sling and an underhand roll cast, because you gotta use the rod tip to sling your rod out, the lure out. And this is as you can see, it's a very stiff rod, fast tip action. And I would say, look at that. That's good distance for a 1/16 ounce lure for the Spear Fox. I don't recall being able to cast as far unless I'm using my other rod. This is again the Dexterity rod. I remember using the cheap Rosewood rod, which is at 2.1 meters because it's longer, able to cast further. Wow, that's probably the furthest I have cast this lure using this rod. Like this is a record, I guess. So yeah, guys, no bites yet, but I would say that this have improved my casting greatly so far. Wow, that is even further. I'm gonna set my break down just 1 to 7. So it's like 2 clicks, I believe. Let's do it one more time. Might backlash, but it's okay. We're here to test. Wow, you guys see that? That almost hit the end of that tree right there. I think I'm gonna be brave because the wind is not crazy today. I'm gonna drop it one more time, okay? Just 1 click. So let's see where that's at. It's like 7.5. And let me just up this angle one more time just in case I'm not capturing the distance. Oh, that backlash. And it made it go left a little bit more because of the backlash. But guys, it almost hit the side of the bridge. So I say that the bearings have improved my casting distance for BFS fishing with the ceramic hybrid bearings. We'll continue testing with the other lures right now, but I am gonna be testing, I guess, the air bearings in the future. I just don't know which brand I'm gonna get right now. I know the Hedgehogs, you know, they're expensive, and yeah, if this goes well, I may just spend the money so that I can actually cast even lighter lures. All right, folks, next lure, one of my most favorite, and I guess I use it mostly throughout anywhere in South Jersey, or in fact anywhere at all when I do my ultralight fishing, is a 1/16 ounce jig head, or 1.8 grams, and it's some sort of small plastic. And what we have here is a tungsten jig head. This is 1.8 grams from Eurotackle, and I'm using your Eurotackle, their B-Vibe, which is a 2-inch swim bait. Very, very small, as you can see. Lands on my pinky. Let's go get them. All right, since we are casting a new lure, I'm gonna jack it back to 8 point. Well, is that 8? 7.5. All right, let's do 7.5. And I'm standing right in front of this tree, I guess, because I have a thing right there. Yeah, let's do a side swipe. Didn't go too far with, I guess, because it goes out very fast because it's heavier than the 1/16 ounce jig, and with the brakes turned on high, it just kicked on pretty quick. So let's try it again just in case. And there's a dead bluegill right there. Whoa. Oh, almost hit that tree. That's pretty good. And that was pretty effortless, I would say, at least. So I'm gonna jack this thing down a little bit. Let's go to 6. I'm pretty ballsy here. Guys, I just hit the end of that thing right there. Like, I had to actually thumb it because I saw it was going too fast, and it was a soft cast. Like, seriously, a soft cast. I'm gonna cast in the open now and see how far it actually goes. After I remove the black algae of death from South Jersey. Look at this stuff. Yuck. All right, let's try it one more time. The wind is blowing against me, you can see. that's why I guess it's easier to cast that way, because there's the bridge piling and all this bush blocking it. But we'll see how we go. Get a little backlash. Jeez, yeah, I got backlash because of the wind, but you know, I would say that's pretty okay. I cast further, I think, with this setup potentially, but with the wind giving offsetting the distance a little bit, I would say that's okay. Feels like it might have gotten just a little further. I mean, I'm not staying it hard because I'm scared to backlash with that wind coming to me. So let's try again, but this time I'm just gonna wing it softly, and I had to thumb it. Definitely, I didn't cast too well on that one. That was my fault, guys. I actually didn't. I actually slinged the rod, and it was on the lower side. I needed to get up a little higher. Like, it actually was going towards the water, and that's no good. And backlash a little bit, and it went to the left because of backlash. So guys, it does go out very fast, but you know, the misconception of having better, faster bearings doesn't mean always equate to longer distance. It really depends on the weight and, you know, shape of the lure, how much air drag it has. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like I could cast lighter and still hit the maximum distance. So I guess that'll be less fatigue. So guys, misconception for you guys, bearings doesn't always mean you'll cast the furthest, more distance. It really depends on the lure. So go figure. Oh man, I just got done talking and I shut off the camera and I got a hit. Look at that, got a dink bass. Here we go. This is a beautiful one. I mean, look at the freaking pattern. You only see that in small bass. When it gets bigger, you know, they don't look as great. All right, with the wind at the 6.5, got to thumb it a little bit, and I'm getting pretty good distance. Again, I don't think it's any further than before, but for the lighter lure, it definitely went out easier. For this size right here, I don't think it went out that much further. So let's switch to a different lure and see what we could do. All right, guys, the last lure we'll cast today is my Mop Jig. I have a tungsten bead here, and I think this is super duper light. I think this whole thing right here might be a little heavier than 1/32 ounce. Of course, this is a type of microfiber fabric, so it will pick up water later and it will get heavier, but the first cast, when it's dry, it's gonna be super duper light, and then when I wet it, it should get a little further. And then I'm gonna try floating it as well, because I do a lot of casting with floats, and this is a trout magnet easy float, and it doesn't weigh that much, right? So let's get to it. All right, so first cast, dry, bone dry. Let's jack that thing to 7.5. Jesus Christ, you saw that? I went all the way to the left. That is because it's too light. I swing too hard. And yeah, these are the troublesome lures, the super duper light ones. And like I said, I usually throw these super light lures with a float, suspend them, and hope that there's a fish that would, you know, take it. Especially in cold water season, they love suspended lures. But let me just cast this now. Now that it's wet, it should be able to get it out there. So I guess I have to weigh it at home while it's dry, and then weigh it again after dipping it in water. But soft cast. All right, so soft cast, I get it in front of me. Not far though, not far at all. But it is sinking slower, so I do like it. Perhaps for super duper shallow stream. Oh, look at that. So yeah, if I have like a 1/32 ounce jig head and a soft plastic, 2-inch soft plastic, I definitely could cast it. You can see it from here. It would work. But if it was just a, you know, some sort of plastic at 1/32 ounce, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen at all. So I am actually very curious, what's the weight of this now that it's wet? So I guess I have to weigh it at home. All right, now that we have the float on, this one's definitely a little easier. I would say it's perfect for me. The question is, where are the fish? We have a bridge there, and there's a lot of tiny fish, which I'll walk to in a second. But casting distance with this is fine. Sorry guys for the delay pause. We have birds flying over making noisy sounds, but casting into wind, casting next to wind, definitely get some distance with the float on. Now I want to try to throw some weighted floats, but I don't know how well this rod gonna hold up doing those, so I might want to up to like a light rod instead of ultralight rod. This is the season to throw floats, guys, in cold water season. So get some weighted floats, put some small jigs like this, and you guys can catch a lot of crappies in small lakes like these. Just find the right side of the lake with good contours or some bridge like that, like here, and then you just fling it in. So guys, I'm casting this tunnel. You guys are probably like, yo, Jimbo, why don't you just go out there and actually cast, you know, for distance? Well, guys, it's never always about distance. When it comes to fishing, you know, it's always, dang, I had to bite. It's more of a, you know, how do you get your lure close as possible to where your target's at? And upgrading these bearings allowed me to cast a lot easier. And what I mean by easier is, guys, I'm able to swing this out with less effort, because sometimes when you swing too hard, you actually are not as accurate than, you know, a finesse lob cast, right? And especially with a bush behind me, like this bush right here, you know, it makes everything very difficult to cast. So having these, you know, the upgraded bearings, I think, you know, I shouldn't focus, and a lot of people always focus is casting distance, but I am casting this a lot softly than, you know, than ever after upgrading the bearings. So guys, when you guys upgrade bearings, play with it. Don't just try to shoot for, you know, maximum distance. Shoot for accuracy, different style cast, different, I guess, energy of casting, different strengths of casting, and see what you do, you know. Roll cast, overhead cast. Like I say, guys, overhead cast, you may backlash. Oh, Jimbo. Oh. You may backlash if you have the wrong lure. If you have a heavy lure, you're probably gonna spool yourself, which is, you know, what a lot of people do. Like, you know, the high-speed spool guy, you know, he just put on some thick lines and then put on a heavy lure, a compact lure, so it just flies far as heck, and then, you know, spool himself, and he gets a lot of, you know, sales. You know, it's a marketing thing. But the truth is, the bearings, you don't always cast super far for everything. It's all about, it comes out easier so that you guys could have different styles of cast, and, you know, you utilize the techniques a lot easier. At least that's to me. If you guys disagree, leave me a comment below. I'd love to talk about it. All right, guys, let's have this in grams. I'm gonna weigh this. It's partially wet. This is by Tungsten Bead Small Size 6 Sickle Hook from Basszone, and a Mop Jig, and a little bit some flash, some plastic chenille. Still a little wet, but it's not soaked all the way. 1.1 grams. So it's 1.2. So it's a little lighter. It's probably close to the 1 gram mark once it's totally dry. But let's soak this in water right now, because as I promised, we'll figure out how much this thing weighs, because when you actually cast this, it's a little wet, right? Put that over there. Look at that, 1.8 grams. That's 1/16 ounce. So no wonder when it got wet earlier, it casted a little bit further, but it's not as far as the Z Viber, because when I swing it, you know, let's do this, because I don't squeeze the water out of my lure, right? Put this back right here. 1.6, so yeah, definitely lighter than the Z Viber when you sling it out, especially when you swing the lure out with the rod tip. It's definitely got to shoot some water out already. And yeah, if I squeeze this water out just a little bit more with my hand, let's take a look. It's probably like 1.5. Look at that. So yeah, definitely you need a float to throw this right here, but I am pretty impressed when it's wet. I do get a little bit of distance. I think if you're fishing like those very narrow streams for trout, this might work. But other than that, guys, you probably want to do a float, even with the upgraded bearings. All right, guys, let's try to weigh this guy here. Again, this is a 1/16 ounce jig head, 1.8 grams tungsten jig. Okay, and we put their Eurotackle B vibe on it. 2.8 grams, so that's very close to 1/8 ounce, which is at 3 grams. So yeah, no wonder these little guys right here cast so far. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video of me testing the new bearings, the ceramic hybrid bearings in my Spirit Fox, the Tsurinoya Spirit Fox BFS Reel. I thought that the bearings do increase the casting easeability. Certain lures, especially the lighter ones, I was able to cast it further and more accurate. That's the key right there. With the standard bearings, where they have the grease inside the stainless steel bearings, it slows down the casting and I'm unable to cast some of the light lures, especially like the 1/16 ounce Z-Viber, the ice fishing jig, the little lipless crankbait, right? And you will know if you can't cast far, and then also it goes off to where you don't want to cast. So I'll cast things with my right hand, right? So when I swing, and if there's a lot of drag, the lure doesn't fly out easy, the spool does not spin easy, and it will fling more to the left than where you want to cast. And I think I was able to eliminate that once I put the ceramic hybrid bearings in there. I was able to cast it even further than what I originally done. Now, as mentioned in the video, this guy here did not cast that far. I feel like it did cast further, probably just a little bit than the stock bearings. This is at 2.8 grams. I think it's expected. Once it hit a specific weight, you're not gonna cast that far. But I have to say that I was able to cast to that distance a lot easier with a lot less force. But if I use too much force, I do risk of backlashing. And at the end of the day, would I recommend you guys put ceramic hybrid bearings on your spare fox? Hell yeah, guys, I would say go for it. You'll be able to cast a lot of the lighter lures a lot easier, and you guys can focus on finesse casting instead of try to wing it out there as hard as you can. And I think that's one problem that a lot of people do too, is that they focus too much on casting distance and not casting accuracy. As I did state while I was fishing, especially where I was trying to sling this small little guy with a float underneath the bridge, you guys should focus on casting accuracy more than casting distance. As a kayak angler, I don't mind not casting too far, but I know some bank fishermen, they want to cast as far as possible. But keep in mind, guys, bait finesse fishing is not about casting super duper far in the first place, because we are ultralight fishing anyway. So if you guys want to focus, always focus on pinpoint accuracy while casting your light lures. Anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments, leave me in the comments below, any questions. But I think my next try is, I do want to try those bearings, those air bearings like from Hedgehog Studios, or maybe I'll try a AliExpress version because it's a lot cheaper. If you guys have upgraded your Spear Fox with those type of bearings, leave me a comment below, give me a recommendation, and I will likely give it a try. Until next time, peace out.